All right, all right, all right, all right. It's another episode of Tuesdays with Audie, and of course, you already know what this is, so I ain't gotta go through that introduction. So I know what I'm gonna do today, but one thing I do know is that it's almost the end of the year, and this in most of this year, it felt like the entire year, the major topic of discussion has been about COVID. The news has inundated us with that information, and a lot of the decisions I had to make this year was based on the fact that we was in a pandemic, and so one of the major decisions I've made that nobody seems to even care about, and I don't seem as though I even care about it anymore, is the fact that it's been over 10 months since I last had a haircut. Look at this. It's like I usually get my hair cut every freaking month, sometimes even twice a month. But since this pandemic, I've gotten some length, length. And I've finally come to appreciate what females go through, especially with their natural hair and trying to actually deal with hair. And, people that have a lot of hair, it's like, I don't even know. It's like, I respect y'all after going through this entire period of having to have this hair and trying to figure out what to do to take care of it. Yes, usually I get like shave, and that's the easy stuff to do. But as most people with hair, now that I have hair, I've come to understand, and which I think I tend to kind of innately understand, is that your haircut is a big, major part of your appearance and the person that you are. You wouldn't necessarily go to any and every barber and get a haircut. And I know a lot of people have been doing these stay-at-home haircuts where they had someone cut their hair, and I had someone try to give me a shape up, as we call it, as it's called in the U.S., an edge, but that didn't necessarily work well with me. So my entire thing with not going to the barber for these past 10 months is the fact is, we have COVID. Yeah, COVID. I know everybody's make it. It seems to everyone that even in Florida that COVID isn't a real thing. It's like I think we realize I think we know it's still around, but because it's been so much of the narrative that has been taking precedence over everything else in our lives, it's like we're like, screw it, frick this whole entire COVID situation. I'm gonna live and I'm gonna do the stuff I'm gonna do. But in terms of the precautionary measures, we still need to take those things in terms of wearing a mask and trying to social distance in terms of saying 6 feet, even though most of us don't necessarily stay 6 feet apart. So yes, people. I tend to kind of see people now, just walking around freely without a mask. I have my mask, but usually when safety first. Usually when I'm on camera, I tend to take it off because I'm not around a lot of people, so I can take it off and do what I gotta do. But yeah, the whole thing is that I haven't necessarily wanted to go to the barber because of COVID. And everything that precautionary that they can do. Sometimes we kind of get lackadaisical and not do the things that are needed to be done in order for us to protect ourselves and those around us. And the one thing is that for a barber, the barber needed to touch my face, and the whole point was that don't touch your face whilst we was in COVID. So why would I go to the barber and have someone intentionally touch my face? And I don't really know what's gonna happen at the end of it. Yes, they're gonna wear gloves. Yes, they're gonna take the precautionary measures and what's not. But in reality, we know that most barbershops are very compact in terms of the spacing. In addition to they don't have access to hand washing on near to where their station are. So in terms of them having to get up and leave and go to the bathroom, or even if they do that, or they probably wear a glove, and people tend to put on one glove and say, okay, I'm wearing a glove, so everything should be okay. But it's like you don't realize that if you're wearing a glove, then touching something with that glove makes that glove now a part of the problem. But a lot of people tend to forget that because they tend to forget or tend to assume that because I'm wearing a glove, everybody and myself is going to be okay. But now, my dilemma is now, I want to go to the barber. I want to go to the barber. But the only reason I want to go to the barber is that I'm supposed to be traveling this weekend. And the thing is that I'm supposed to be leaving the U.S. So now it puts me in this little, dilemma whether or not if I want to go to the barber before I leave because I'm comfortable with a barber at least here in the U.S. and I could get a haircut, or I could get a haircut from them and I would be satisfied with it. Or should I wait until I go to this new place that I've never gotten a haircut before, and then hopefully find someone or find somewhere to get a haircut and hopefully do a good job. And so the dilemma is here. If I get a haircut here, I'm going to be satisfied with a haircut. But if I was to come in contact with somebody at that barber shop, or for God forbid something happened and then I do get the symptoms of the virus, then that would completely eliminate the fact that I can't travel. Because the key things is that you have not experienced any flu-like symptoms, and they don't want you to travel if you have experienced any of those things. So do I risk their parents for the experience? That's the question. Do I risk it? Guys, come on, drop in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think that I should go ahead and go to the barbershop and get a haircut before I go on the trip? Or should I wait until I get to the location and then get a haircut and then worry about their parents then? Either way, let me know what you think, and go ahead and comment and let me know what you think will be best for me in this particular situation. But big piggybacking off of this entire COVID situation and wanted to go on this, wanted to go to the barbershop. We know that in the news we have been starting to hear that, this vaccine. Pfizer's vaccine has been FDA approved, and it's pretty much ready for distribution. And so now it's like we kind of have a vaccine. So now what? I think from what I've read and what I've heard, it's like more also in terms of the healthcare workers and those who are more at risk will have first usage, or first people who likely get to have the vaccine, so that they can necessarily be able to kind of be more immune to that virus. So herd immunization, and also mass immunization, is for the fact that we need a lot of people to take the vaccine in order for for us to kind of go back to what things were post-COVID. But things will not necessarily ever go back to what they were, because now we live in a new reality. We almost had an entire year of dealing with the situation. We probably will look back in history at this particular year and be like, God damn, I can't believe it. It's like we was locked in our houses. We was locked down. We had to stay away from people. We had to watch some of the people that we loved kind of suffer through this entire virus, but not necessarily being near to them. And there were so many disheartening things in terms of people having to lose their job, not necessarily being able to keep their basic needs met. And even though there was a stimulus check in the U.S., but even with that stimulus check and then having to kind of experience those 5 or 6 months or however long it has been since you got that check and not necessarily having a job, you just couldn't necessarily meet your basic needs for that period of time. So yes, now that there's a vaccine, I know everybody is excited for the vaccine, but the next thing is like, we are humans. I'm even human. So I'm not gonna go ahead and play act brand new, like I'm not gonna necessarily do this, but we all are gonna have some form of conspiracy theory. And I'm not here to inundate you with my conspiracy theory and what's not, but at the end of the day, we all are gonna make up some story, and everybody and everyone on social media, and those who have kind of followed the teachings of whatever literature that they are accustomed to, they're gonna make some conspiracy theory about what's gonna happen, because this is one of the first vaccines that to date has been found in such a short period of time. And there are gonna be some benefits of having it for a short period of time for us to return to what we considered normal, but then there are also going to be most likely some repercussions. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you what those repercussions may or may not be. I'm only human, so I can't, whatever I think may possibly happen may not possibly would happen. If any of us could have predict the future, we would have not been here in the first place. So we could sit here and hypothesize and kind of predict, but at the end of it, we have our flaws in terms of human, and our predictions, usually, even if they are true, they tend not to necessarily be an exact prediction that we thought it would actually end up to be. So yes, guys, yeah, I need a haircut. If you know anybody, I need a haircut. Look at this. It's like my hair have never been beyond here, but this thing is like almost at the tip of my nose now. And it's like, what the hell is going on with you? It's like, what do you do with this? Do I just take a razor and just ball this thing off? No, it's like, I don't look over the bald head anymore. It's like, it's been a long time since I had a schoolboy cut, as you usually would call it. But now, I want a haircut. Please. So, with that said, this brings us to the end of an episode of Tuesdays with Audie. Yes, my haircut and everything else. I just want to take it light today, seeing that we go into the holidays, and I don't want to get, but we all have to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, because now it's starting time for us to kind of gather with our families and kind of enjoy their presence and be with them as much as we possibly can, if we can. So it's starting to lighten the mood. This is my dilemma. I need a haircut. Golly. But yeah, with that said, deuces, I'm outie. Until the next one, peace, love, and enjoyment.